one more console story. This one was Vanessa's. She had an NZXT pre-built, and she, what the hell was it now? She had, what the hell was it, man? Z490 A Pro? That's it. It was an A Pro. You see how in my Google search history is trying to find a BIOS for it? Okay. She, NZXT fails again, man. Okay, so what she did is she went and watched my video on the 10850K highest Warzone FPS rig or whatever. Then she went to the NZXT build website, punched all that shit in, and then just ordered the exact same thing I told her to, right on the video, like all my recommendations. So then she got a Z490 A Pro MSI board, and then hang on, let me, probably wants your config. What config? I don't understand what he's talking about. But then what the hell was it? So I was like, can you flash the BIOS? She's like, I tried, I can't flash the BIOS. I'm like, okay. Then I tried flashing the BIOS. It was like spent like an hour on that shit. I'm like, why can't I flash the damn BIOS? And then no matter what BIOS file we downloaded, it was not showing up in the BIOS. So then upon Googling a little bit, Z490 A Pro can't update BIOS. There was one Reddit thread. Was it this one? This one. Yeah, I found this. You have an OEM board. Because this, you cannot use the BIOS from the MSI website. So literally, MSI had like an overstock of like these A Pro OEM boards and gave them all to NZXT, and then NZXT sold them as Z490 A Pros. And then when you went to the NZXT website, they don't have a support page for that model. So I don't think NZXT even knows, to be honest. I like NZXT is probably like, oh yeah, it's an MSI Z490 A Pro. And then when you go to the BIOS, it's like Z490 A Pro. So then what I ended up doing, what are those MSI pre-built PCs? Aegis, that's it. So I Google MSI Aegis Z490, Aegis, which is the exact one that they use with that. So you go to support here. It doesn't matter which Aegis you go to. BIOS. There's only one BIOS file. And this is the exact one that's flashed on that motherboard. So when you download this BIOS file, it shows up in the BIOS as being updatable. But it's the exact same version and revision. So whatever motherboard they built for OEMs has not had a BIOS update in a year and a half. And NZXT selling that shit to people. That's what I mean, dude. So it's like, how? And then I had that Alienware consult the other day. I was like, oh my god, I literally just told that guy to go to NZXT and buy the MSI board. I literally did the guy in the Alienware consult. I'm like, go to NZXT, buy the MSI board. And then I did Vanessa's consult. I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's like literally exactly what I told the other guy to buy. And then I'm like, oh, we got an issue here, boys. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucked, man. NZXT, I'm not blaming them for this one. I don't think they even know what they're selling. They're probably like, they probably went to MSI and they're like, we need some boards to finish these builds off. And then MSI's like, here's some B stock or something. So that's fucked. And then, no, not all of them. Not all of them. It has to be the Z490 A Pro. It's that one specifically. So I don't think it's fraud. It's still a so it's still a Z490A Pro. And then you know what I tried doing? I tried downloading the Z490A Pro BIOS, renaming it in the command prompts to the exact same file name as this one. Then I could see it. I tried to force flash it, and then it errors out in the last second and says not compatible with this motherboard. So I literally fucking tried everything to get that shit going, right? So whatever, she's gonna exchange it now anyway. So but now I gotta redo the entire fucking consult again, right? It's, oh my god, dude. So it's like all the work that we did, she has to go exchange the whole build with NZXT now. So like, could you blame NZXT? Probably. They're not really doing their due diligence, but how would they know? They're just like commoners. They're peasants, you know what I mean? They just sell pre-builds. They wouldn't know. Do you know what I mean? I think do you blame MSI or do you blame NZXT for that one? And then Vanessa's like, I understand why you charge so much now for your consults. I'm like, yeah, because like something always happens, dude. Like I always discover like the most random shit. Like how, like it's the most random fucking thing, dude. It's like, oh yeah, there's one OEM motherboard that doesn't exist anymore, but NZXT is selling them in pre-builds. But you can't update the BIOS on them. Dude, the BIOS was black and white. How old that shit was, okay? Like, it was fucking old, dude. Like, you know what I mean? So, and if anyone ever asks why the consults cost so much money, it's because of that shit, dude.